Heyo, welcome back to another Snapshot review. I don't want to be doing these every single week, every single Snapshot, because I've only really got time for one upload, so I'm going to do this occasionally whenever there's, like, enough stuff to talk about, and given the past few weeks, there's definitely enough stuff to talk about. So if you look at the top left of my screen, this is Snapshot 21W07A, which I think means it's the 7th snapshot for this version of Minecraft, I guess, for 1.17. But this is one of the main features, really, is these new blocks, which is called Grimestone. Or Grimstone, sorry, I keep calling it Grimestone. So, we got the normal Grimstone, polished, bricks, and chiseled. These three are, four, sorry. These four are, the normal bog standards, you got stone bricks the same and all that. Then we've got Grimstone tiles, which is interesting, because this is a new block, which means we might be getting, like, tiles for other types of blocks. So like if I just go to every type of brick, it has like cracked and chiseled variants. Like we could be getting stone brick tiles or something, or like brick tiles or nether brick tiles. But actually, these two textures kind of look similar. Like the tiles are kind of the same size as the bricks on here, so I don't know, maybe they won't do that because they kind of have two different types of tile and brick blocks now. Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is like we have these kind of bricks where it's like the big kind of like there's the T shape in the middle of it where it's the two small bricks in the bottom corners and then the big one taking up the top half. But then we also have like, classic brickwork that you'd see on a house or something. Which is kind of what the tiles look like. And then quartz and prismarine just kind of have their own thing. So I'm curious if like they'll rename these, so these will be like brick tiles, nether brick tiles, red nether brick tiles. And then they'll make like brick variants of these. So like obviously they've already got the grindstone bricks, but like the block called bricks or brick block would be in this sort of texture shape, but with the brick color palette. Or they could they could make other unique brick shapes like this. Because these two definitely have their uses. Like, I want to use quartz bricks. I know where I want to use those. Some builds. Prismarine I don't play around with much, but it's definitely a unique shape that you can mess with. I think it's kind of weird that these things don't rotate. Like, you can't place them in certain directions, but oh well, I guess. But yeah, I think that would be interesting if, like, these bricks all became tile blocks and then they'd get their own brick, like this texture. I think that would be pretty neat. It would add some new versatility to the game, but I kind of feel like this texture is very, very used at this point, so maybe they don't want to do that. But let's move on now to, like, the actual generation of Grimstone down in the caves, I guess. So this is what will spawn instead of stone. Once you go below Y0 in the world. So if I go into spectator mode quite quickly, so you can see here we have all the amethyst geodes and stuff. This is just normal stone spawning. But that's another thing as well, is that they increase the height and depth limit by 64 blocks each, so you can now go into the negative. So you can see there on the left of my screen, my Y coordinate is now minus 34. But once you go down below 0, stone will no longer spawn. It'll only be this Grimstone, which I think looks awesome. I think this is a really good feature, and it makes the darkest depths of the world look much creepier, much scarier. But yeah, this goes in with the new cave generation as well, which, wow, okay. There's still some like loading issues because I don't know, I guess it's not optimized yet. But look at this. This is like a perfect example. Like this here is just a normal Minecraft ravine, which keeps lagging for some reason. So, you normally find this in a Minecraft world, and then you come through, and then boom, you got this crazy stuff. Like, I know this specific shape, there was a weird, not as interesting version of it in the old cave generation, which you might have seen. But look at this. This is just huge. Like, imagine building your house in these caves. That would be awesome. And then again, you come down, you see how dark it is. Like, my video settings are bright, right? Yeah. If I turn it back down to moody, look at this. You can barely see. And I think these glow lights are really cool for what the... Oh, that's just world not spawning in. I think these glow lights are perfect now, because... Look, it's just like these tiny little patches of light you can see throughout the cave. Which, yeah, it's really cool. And you can see they've changed, or they're going to change, I believe, the depths at which diamonds and things spawn. So, to get diamonds, you'll have to go really deep now. But they'll also, because, obviously, this looks weird, you know, with the Grimstone and diamonds have, like, or any ore just has, like, the stone texture. They're actually working on retexturing these ores to have, like, Grimstone variants, which is cool. There have been mods in the past which have done similar to that, but they've also had ores that like spawn in diorite, granite, and andesite. Yeah, those three. So I think that would be a really interesting change if we got to see those as well. Oh my. Well, there seems to be some lighting issues. Is there a way to fix this? No, is there? What is this? That is really strange. And look at that, it keeps going. I wonder if there's something floating in the sky. I'm gonna fly up and check. So we're up here at Y400, which is far beyond the build limit. And I can't see anything, so I guess this is just a bug at the minute. Like this is a weird bug. Well, we found something. We found a bug. Yay. But yeah, if we fly on back over to... I don't even remember where we were. Let me just do this. This will be easier. I just /kill. This isn't scripted or anything. That's probably very obvious. But I don't want to script these. I just kind of want to go through it and give my thoughts and opinions as they come. It's like, I loaded up this world 5 minutes ago before recording. I kind of just flew around. I've seen a few Snapshot videos, so I kind of know what's going on. But if we go back to these, like, I've got bedrock here because I was going to say, these blocks, like especially this one, like, hang on, if I just grab normal stone as well. Like, if we just go bang, bang, bang. Yeah, if we just put all these three together, look at this. Like, this is a nice transition between stone to bedrock, which is something I feel like we didn't really have before. Like, if we just look at these two, that's like a big contrast right there. Whereas with this one, look at that. It's like, closer colors, I guess, closer shading, which makes the transition to bedrock look much nicer, in my opinion. But, I'm sure you've seen it right now, because I've got coal all around me. But all the ores, basically, are getting an overhaul. If I just clear my inventory and search for them. Okay, so if you look at this, like, I think these three and red... Oh, and red. Tell you what, let's move redstone over here, just for the sake of simplicity. And then we'll use the nether stuff as a cutoff point. These 4 ores have changed, and I really like these. I think they look awesome. And I have been told by someone who is actually colorblind that... Ooh, look at that. It still lights up and stuff. I should have expected that, but it surprised me. But I've been told by someone that this, with like colorblindness and whatnot, makes them much easier to identify. Because I believe it was iron and diamonds look similar to a certain type of colorblindness. I'm no expert, alright? But these two kind of look the same, so iron would look like diamonds, which would be confusing. It's kind of the same reason rubies were switched to emeralds last minute, because that and redstone were like easy to mix up even with the different textures. But I think this is a really nice change. I think these look more natural. And diamonds kept its original ore. Kind of, actually. If you look at the stone, it's actually been changed, I think. Because, yeah, it used to just be a stone block with the blue bits on it, but it looks like they've actually changed it up a little bit, made it look a little bit nicer. Which I like. But yeah, they've kept the, like, original design of ore blocks for diamonds because it's so iconic, I guess. Which, you know, it's fine. It's now a unique ore, which I think is cool. It's like, to get the retro ore, you have to do this. And actually, I'm curious if they've updated the resource pack yet. If we go to Programmer, which basically shows all the classic textures for the game. Will it change these? Let's see. Yes, it will. So if you look here, they're all the same kind of texture. Actually, we can do... Yeah, see? The diamond ore... Oh, wow, that... I think this is a really old version of the texture, but it's the stone block, isn't it? Oh. When you look at this, it's the old netherite... not netherite, nether quartz. I forgot this, I forgot this texture existed, to be honest. But let's switch back to default Minecraft on. Because I want to see. I'm pretty sure there was a few other things I wanted to talk about. So I've loaded up a new world, and maybe you guys, if you watch my videos, actually maybe recognize this area. Maybe you don't. This is actually the Terrachunks seed server. Well, not the server, but it's the Terrachunks server's seed. Sorry. And this exact spot is where my first house was, the little village shack we did. I just wanted to come on here because it's actually insane. Like, most of the world has loaded the same. Like, the village is a different shape entirely, but it's still here. And a lot of the terrain at spawn is very similar. But look at this. The ravine... There was a ravine next to the village anyway, but it was, like, over here. And that's gone now. There's, like, a pond here. Look at that. There's two big lakes. Like, normally I'd have come down here. And this is where the bunker was. Is this? The bunker has been replaced by a giant cave. Look at this. The waterlogged caves look awesome. Like, look at this. Wow. Oh yeah, there's ice. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to look around for a little bit. There are a few more features I want to talk about, but I was just curious what the seed looked like. Like, look, it's so weird. This is perfectly fine. Like, look at this. We've got the river running around. I'm sure if I come around the back, the skeleton spawn is still here, right? Strangely enough, it's not. Okay. What about the zombie spawner, right? Okay, I guess spawners have changed positions. It seems like everything below a certain height level has kind of changed the generation of what it is. But biomes and such have stayed the same. Like, look at this! This is a giant lake that just wasn't here before. Wait, it's a cave. Yeah. Look at this. Unless this is how rivers generate now. Which I'm not opposed to, it looks really nice. Let's see. Yep, there's another village here. Let's go to the Mushroom Island. Let's see what that's like. Okay, let's see. Okay. This looks fairly normal. Let's see. There's an island over here. Yeah, that's normal. Ship's Island looks a bit smaller. I don't know if it is smaller, though, because, I know he's expanded, terraformed on it and stuff. But, funnily enough, my island looks perfectly fine. This is where the creeper farm was that we built. Okay, but that... Still, it's cool. Like, there's an end dungeon directly under my base, actually. Is that still here? Strangely enough, it's not. It was right here. It looks like it's actually just been dug out and moved. But that's really interesting. So I'm gonna cut and go over to Q's base because it's way away in this dimension, in this direction, and I don't have nether travel. We don't have nether roof or anything, so I'm gonna have to fly. Okay, I'm on my way to Q's base. My Mushroom Island's that way. Or where Q's base would be. I guess it's, you know, it's not on the seed. But look at this. I knew they changed the generation heights of ores. Now I'm gonna go over that a bit later. But surface emerald ore. Like, what? I didn't expect to see, like, emerald just sitting out in the open. Like, that's nuts. Apparently it's still a low chance to find that, so... That was incredibly lucky, incredibly rare. But I feel like a lot of world generation is very same-ish so far, except for, like, mountainous biomes. They seem to have funkier caves. And I'm a bit lost. I don't know exactly. I'm gonna have to find out what Q's coordinates are. So it actually took me quite a while to find this place because I only came here once the giant mega tree was built. But this village, some of the houses are actually inside of Q's tree, but I'm pretty sure it stretches way further out this time. And like, if we come out here, the jungle seems to be closer. This is weird. I haven't really investigated here much. Let's make it nice. Weather clear. Like I hadn't explored much here before Q had already built it. But look, if we go to the shopping district right here, it's just flooded. Like look at this. There wouldn't be a shopping district here. There's a giant lake. Jay's house would have been down there somewhere. Wow, this is nuts. Like I wonder. Like that ruined portal is always there. Let's see. I've been to Sam's industrial district, which again is entirely. Is it flooded? Yeah, because he's got like a giant watermelon block and stuff down here. Yeah, this entire area is just flooded up now. It's the new cave generation's weird. I don't know how it's done this. Like most of the world is fine, and look, another one of these light glitches. But yeah, I don't think there's really anything interesting around Q's base, unfortunately. Like, oh god, the jungle really lags my game. Like, there's these caves, like these sideways-ish caves. I really like these. I think these ones are called spaghetti caves or something. I don't know. There's two new types of caves. One of them's spaghetti caves and one of them's cheese caves. That's what the Mojang team calls them, which are weird names. But kind of disappointed. There's a big mountain biome over here, which seems. Oh no, it's not the same. It has a it has a giant hole just sitting here. Like, look at this. Is this a geode? It is. Yeah. Like, this is awesome. And let's check a night vision. Okay, now we can see. Yeah, like if we come down here, look at this. This just drops so far down. Like, where are we at now? Negative 44. Let's fly back up real quick. This is basically just a straight hole down from the surface to minus 44. That's like a 100-block hole. It's a 100-block deep cave. Because sea level, which I'm going to count as surface level, is 64. And then we can just fly on down here. It's weird, this is like two different caves have come together. So there's nothing in here, and it's kind of covered up. And then the geode cracks have kind of opened up this secondary cave down here. This is awesome. You know what? Actually, Q has the machine under his base, doesn't he? I showed that off last episode. I wonder if there's like a giant cave under his house now instead. Yeah, look at this! This is the biggest type of cave. Like, Q straight wouldn't have been able to build the machine under his base. It just would have been a giant hole. Like, wow. These caves are awesome. These are the rarest type. But just look at this. You can fly around. They're also super dangerous. There's mobs everywhere. Yeah. And I was gonna mention this. I have a tweet, which I'll probably show later anyway. But look at this. Like, mine shafts now, when they come out, they actually have chains holding them to the ceiling, and sometimes they have logs, like, coming down to the floor as well. Which I think is really cool. But yeah, look at this. Just, like, open diamonds everywhere. What's that? That's 1, 2 pockets. Is that another one over here? 3 pockets. Like, that is one thing. 4. That's one thing in this snapshot, is that diamond value has plummeted now. Like, look at this. I can come down here. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's just a lot. So that's 14. If you have Fortune 3, that's at least double. So that's what? That's I've just walked in here, and after a few seconds, that's 28 diamonds. So the value of diamonds is changing again. It's been changing like every update, basically. So it's going to be interesting what shopping districts are going to be like after this update. Like, are Obviously, Terrachunks, we have our own economy. And then there's bigger servers like Hermitcraft, and I don't know if Sidecraft has diamond economy or not. Because those guys are nuts. I'm pretty sure they could just duplicate diamonds infinitely whenever they feel like it. But yeah, SMP servers with diamond economies are gonna have to change up a little bit, you know? Diamonds are gonna be worth less now, so it's gonna be more diamonds per per purchase, I guess. But I'm honestly taken aback by this. Like, look at this. This is layer 0 pretty much. So this is all below bedrock, or what would have been below bedrock. So like if we fly up here, like where I'm standing now would be around where Q's machine is, which I think I'm gonna play a clip of while I talk, and kind of, I'm gonna have to stand still so the elytra and rockets don't make a noise. But I'm gonna play a clip of Q's machine as I talk. But like that thing bores through. You can get ridiculous amount of diamonds now. So I can't imagine what's gonna be like in this update, because you've got all these open diamond pockets just sitting around. But then as soon as you start blowing stuff up, it's gonna get nuts. Like Q's gonna be so rich if he does this next season. I might do it. I might do it this season. Hint, hint. But if anyone who makes a boring machine now, I think, is just gonna be filthy rich. Like, let's see. What's the blast resistance like? Oh, okay. So the blast resistance might actually be higher than with stone. Let's see if we can do like a decently fair test here. So we'll dig in 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll dig in 5 blocks and we'll light a TNT on stone and see how that goes. So that it digs out like a 3x3 area basically. Okay, let's see, because if this does lefts, maybe boring machines are now useless. No, it's the same. It is the same. The one thing with Grimstone is that it does mine slower than stone, so you cannot insta-mine it. Which is going to be an interesting thing to see how people actually, like, dig out big perimeters and do insta-mining down here and stuff. But I think that's a good way to combat diamonds being more abundant now, is make the blocks slower to mine, so it takes longer to actually find those diamonds. But what else do I want to... Oh yeah, that's it. I wanted to talk about moss as well. Because, look at this. New block, looks absolutely amazing. It's like a new variant of... It's like, it's like the Optifine grass. It covers all sides. But the good thing is, like, I can't use Optifine right now, because, this is a snapshot. But Optifine grass, it'll cover, like, the first top block, and then the rest will be dirt. But not with this, so, like, you can cover full hills, like... let's see if I can do a decent example here. Like, we were to just cover up all this, and then we were to have, like, a 2-block high little piece there. Like, look at that. That looks so much nicer than, like, having a dirt block. Like, where are dirt blocks there? Like, that looks kind of ugly, you know? Imagine that was grass, but that looks so much nicer. Hello, creeper. Yeah, so I think moss block's gonna be great. But a new technique people have been talking about, like I've seen Ilmango's video recently on this, is that some blocks, including Grimstone, can just be bone mealed with moss and turned into it. So this is now moss, which can be insta-mined with a netherite hole, diamond hole. Alright, okay, there's also moss carpets, like these things, which I think is great. Because imagine that on the surface, you can now hide lights under moss carpets and it'll just look like grass, which will be awesome. But with these, we also have some new decoration blocks. We have the azalea and flowering azalea blocks, which these are interesting because they're not saplings. But, we've got you can stand on them, you can crouch on them, you can walk into them. But they're not, like, if I... How do you spell azalea? Like that. There are also azalea leaves, which hints that there's probably going to be azalea trees at some point. They have a new... Wait, do all leaves have a new sound to them? What's that? That's oak, yeah. Okay, no, these guys just sound like grass still. These azalea leaves, listen. That's a much softer noise, I really like that. But I'm curious how they're going to do this, like... will we have to bone meal azalea flowers, flowering azaleas? Or will these be two very separate things? Because I think these would make great decoration. I think they are going to be a separate thing, especially because they're not, you know, the same kind of sapling as everything else. But what I think there's one last thing I wanted to talk about. Yeah, here it is. The drip leaves, which can be placed only on clay and dirt, I believe. So let's place that. Yeah. And these are interesting because these small ones are just kind of like reeds in a pond. But then the big ones are like parkour devices. It's like you stand on them and then after a few seconds you fall off. Which can be cancelled out using redstone. So if I just power it with a redstone block and stand on it, it still makes the noise, strangely enough. Yeah, but it doesn't fall in. So that's going to be very interesting to see how people handle that with redstone. But I do believe that's all I want to talk about. Really, the only memorable feature I can think of is that they've reorganized the Redstone tab to be more, you know, like it's the important stuff that you'll normally use on top, and then I think these are called activators, the buttons and the pressure plates. And then at the bottom with the doors and trapdoors and fences, or fence gates, sorry, it's these are called openables. I think that's how they describe changing it. But I think for the episode now, not a video, not an episode, I guess. But I think we're basically done for this. I want to hop over to the Mojang website to show the new ore distribution and how that's going to be working once it's done. But apart from that, I think we're done. So let's hop over to there, and let's take a look real quick. Okay, so there's two things really I want to talk about on the interwebs, and this is the first from Henrik, who is one of the, as it says over here, he's one of the main developers for Minecraft. But Jasper, who does a lot of textures in the game, has actually developed these textures already. It's just that they didn't get into this week's snapshot. So Wednesday, so that's 2 days after this video goes live, these textures should be in the game, which I think is cool. These things look really nice. I actually think I prefer the Grimstone textures to the regular. I don't know if it's just because they're new, or if they just look nicer, but I like them more. And something I've noticed as well, you can see in the bottom right here, this comment. People are complaining a little bit about coal ore because it's setting off trypophobia, which is like a fear of holes, I believe. Something like that, like a lot of holes in a small area. So I think they might end up changing the coal ore a little bit. But if you also notice here, there are certain ores that aren't getting Grimstone, which would be copper, coal, and emeralds. I think that, yeah, that's the three. And the reason for that is if we exit out of this and tab over to the Minecraft website, we actually have new ore generation. If I can just zoom in a little bit nicer to this. Wait, where'd it go? There we go. Alright, so this is not final, obviously. But this is the old world generation. And I think it's crazy, like, this stacking right here is where ores used to spawn. Look how much bigger the world's gotten since then. I think that's nuts. Like, this is a big update. But if you see here, like, there's different rarities for everything, so what's this? Is this iron? Yeah, iron can spawn all the way up really high. So that would be spawning on mountains and such, I'd imagine. But it can also spawn around the middle area where it's usually spawning. Coal can just spawn ridiculously high. All the way down to layer 0, pretty much. But stuff like diamonds and redstone is where it gets interesting. Because whereas all this up the top is kind of... It's what it used to be, just translated over to the higher worlds. But redstone and diamond have a pretty low chance of spawning anywhere before the Grimstone depths, as people are calling them. Which I think is very interesting, because this is going to make people want to mine at different levels a lot now. So it's like, if you want iron or gold, you know, you'll mine this middle level right here, which looks to be around layer 30. Just eyeballing it. Coal you can get pretty much everywhere where there's stone. But then at the bottom... wait. Oh, no, sorry, that's not gold, that's copper. right there. This what orangey one's copper. It's on the thing over here. But I think this is cool. So what is it? It's gold, lapis, diamond, and redstone. You'll get low in the world. And if you go to bedrock level, you'll pretty much only be getting redstone and diamonds, which I think is good because late game, that's what people want in bulk. You know, redstoners need so much redstone, always. So I think the fact that it'll be the only ore spawning down here is good because you can just come down here, get redstone, get diamonds. And obviously, everyone wants diamonds. But I think that about does it. I just wanted to show off this chart that people have, not people, Mojang themselves have made this actually. So I thought that was pretty cool. This, let's see, those are the new blocks, changes, tweaks. I think we've pretty much spoken about them all. I mentioned earlier that the biggest caves that we saw, like under where Q's base would be on the Terrachunks seed, they're much rarer now and have less chance to be filled with water because the snapshot before 21W07A, so 21W06A, there was far too many waterlogged caves, so they fixed that. Diorite, granite, and dirt no longer generate below Y0. Strongholds. This is an interesting one. Strongholds are now mostly encased in stone, so like you can't just find it whilst going through a cave or something. That doesn't affect many people, but I'm interested to see how speedrunners react to that, because that's going to slow them down a bit. And the mine shaft corridors being supported by pillars. I think I showed that earlier. Like there were chains holding up a mine shaft. And then there's the ore texture changes. Diamond ore stayed the same because it's the most iconic. Blackstone polished blackstone bricks and cracked polished blackstone bricks have some minor touch-ups. I think I saw that earlier. They just look a bit softer, really. That's about it. And if you guys want to read these bugs, go for it. I'm not going to read through all of them. There's a lot. They're pretty small. But thank you guys very much for watching. We'll be back onto Terrachunks next week. I did this video this week specifically because A, there's a lot to talk about. B, the stream kind of ate up a lot of my time. We spent 3 days last week streaming. I'm very grateful for everyone who showed up, and thank you for that. But that's it for this week, so I'll see you all next week in our regular broadcast of Terrachunks videos. Goodbye.